Hey, this is Maurice Mercer, your candidate for the mayor of Pelham here in 2025. I'm excited to be here today to share my ideas, my platform, which is surrounded around education, economic development, community, and public service. So as you listen in, listen closely as you can take away some of these ideas to help make Pelham, our home, a better place.
This is Classic Conversation.
Welcome back to Classic Conversations. I know you see a new set, new lights, new cameras. So we're doing something special today, and that's the reason why you see the difference. Missing my co-host, Mr. Exclusive, but we got somebody special here today. We got Maurice Mercer, who's running for mayor for the city of Pelham. Maurice, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey, guys, my name is Maurice Mercer. I'm excited to be here. I'm your current Pelham City Council president, and yes, I am running for mayor of Pelham. So
we glad to have you. Glad to have you. So getting into it, you're running for mayor.
Yes.
And we got to get the people out to vote. We got to get the people there to vote. So starting off, what inspired you back in 2012 to get involved with local government?
Yes. So 2012 was the first year I was elected to the council. But honestly, I started a few years before that. I ran in 2008. I was unsuccessful that year. We missed the runoff by about 200 votes.
Okay.
But I didn't give up. I kind of went back to work, became the neighborhood association president, started volunteering with the library, got on the library board, the Library Guild, which is the 501c3 nonprofit, and just continued to work to make Pelham a better place. And so that's where it began, really back in 2008. But 2012 was sort of where we saw the fruits of the labor.
And that's big, though, that you didn't let that defeat, I guess, keep you down, because some people will walk away.
That's correct.
They wouldn't come back and fight again, but you came back.
Right.
So that was big.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was big. So you served 3 terms on Pelham City Council, and you currently the president.
Yes.
Now. So what has been some of your proudest accomplishments?
Sure. Listen, in 3 terms, we've done a few things. And so the proudest accomplishments, I'll start with breaking away and forming our own school system, making sure that we could heavily invest in our kids. I would say building the library, taking it.
Love that library, by the way.
Listen, tell her thank you. It's not just for kids. Obviously, kids take a great advantage of it, but even businesses use the meeting rooms.
Right.
People have conferences there. And so we're very excited about that space, about 20,000 square feet at the library. And at that center, we've got our walking trails, and we're working to have those trails connect not only from the park all the way into Oak Mountain State Park.
Wow, that's big.
I'm also proud to start our entertainment district, where we took an old elementary school, and turned it into something where people can go have fun, and we have restaurants there. We got some entertainment coming, and
Half Share is so good.
Yes. Hey, shout out to Half Share. But I think if you ask my kids sort of what was my biggest accomplishment, and they would say the splash pad.
My daughter would too.
Yeah.
She already been asking, is it open? Because she's been ready to go.
Tell her a couple more weeks. So finish up school, and it will be ready for once the semester ends.
Good deal.
Yes, sir.
So your background in business administration and marketing, so how has that approached your leadership, you as a leader?
Sure. No, I think it's a great question. I graduated from Troy with the degree in business administration and marketing, and I've used that to learn more about the companies that I work with and move myself into management roles with those companies. And then I've also started my own companies and helped to build those. So those skills that you learn in working with people and having others work for you and making sure you put everything together leads over into the mayor. So the mayor's role is the CEO, right? Now, Pelham has a city manager by ordinance, and so I'm fully prepared to work with her and continue to move the city forward. But that's having those skill sets in business, I think, makes me an excellent choice. In addition to that, I've spent over 100 hours in additional training with the League of Municipalities, and I hold the certificate of an advanced certified municipal officer. And I'm the only candidate that has that certificate.
Wow.
And so taking the skills that I've learned from those classes, as well as other elected officials through the training, I think I'm going to be able to put to good use in Pelham on day one.
Right, right. So after, I mean, you said 2012 and then 2018 you came back. Like, why now? What's the thing now that makes you ready to run and know you want to run, and what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Absolutely. Well, this is the first year our incumbent mayor is retiring.
Okay.
I've had citizens ask me before, hey, you ought to consider running for mayor. And I tell people in 2016, I actually had more votes than the mayor. We run at large. So so everybody in Pelham gets to vote for the mayor as well as the council.
Right.
And so, but the mayor and I came in 2012 together and always had a great work relationship. So as he retired, this is the time. This is the time to put my leadership skills to test and to carry on some of the projects that we've started. So we have, I just mentioned, I want to see our trail system completed.
Right.
We were awarded a $50 million FRA grant last year.
Okay.
And so now we're waiting on the current administration to release the funds. And so I would like to see that Highway 52 widen and the flyover where public safety could get to our friends over the train tracks. That's exactly right. So those key projects, and then as we just purchased the Live Nation property,
it's going to be huge. I saw that.
That's going to be, amazing to add to our entertainment district and put together something that will bring out people in community. And so I'm excited to have the opportunity to work for Pelham and lead in seeing those completed items that we have right now as a council.
And those some big projects. There's a lot of big projects too. So in your first 100 days, right, what can the voters expect once you get elected in your first 100 days?
Sure. First 100 days, it's going to be important to do a SWOT analysis, study the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Though I've been on the council and served in that role, the mayor's role is more of the CEO. And so I'll be able to understand the organization a little bit better and work again with that city manager to set the goals and the plans for the municipality. Okay. And so those will be the first days. I'm going to learn the employees, see the day in, day out jobs, and kind of if there are suggestions that I can make to help improve upon that. And we've got a great team right now. And so, we want to focus on ways to go from good to great. Yes, sir.
All right. And so after your first 100 days, right? So what's your long-term goal? Like that's your getting in, getting yourself adjusted to what's going on. So your long-term goals, 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely.
What do you see Pelham as?
So I think Pelham, for that 5 to 10, I'm going to show that community first is not just the slogan, but it's going to be the way of life. And so what are we doing 5 to 10 years to enhance the community? Well, number one, we know our school board has already purchased land for a new high school. They've got a 10-year plan with that. We want to try to help and see if we can reduce that down maybe to 6 years. Okay. Try to see some corporate donors, some sponsors that we can help get that off the ground with as little debt as possible. Right. Building that high school within a free up space in the elementary schools, potentially for pre-K, as well as have a larger middle school, which would then be the old high school. Right. So there's it's a ripple effect of how that potentially helps the community there. Seeking out economic development, going out and looking for strategic businesses that we don't have in the city and inviting them to Pelham. And so being that face, not only to the larger businesses, but even the small business community. Public safety, also making sure we maintain safe neighborhoods. We can maintain a sense of peace when we go home. A lot of people don't realize here recently, we just brought in-house our EMS transport. Okay. And so, historically, Pelham and other municipalities will call an ambulance crew to come in to get someone. And now the local municipalities supply. So we had some places in Pelham where people may have been waiting 30 minutes, 40 minutes,
Right.
could be for ambulance. And so now those times have been greatly reduced. And so we want to make sure that we continue to execute, again, those public safety areas 110%.
Right.
So that's what I see, that 10-year growth in business and in the community at that point in time. And I think in that 10 years, our trails will have been completed. We will have opportunity to see how the entertainment district has come on board, from Campus 124 to the Canopy, where the Civic Complex is, and the Live Nation
Right.
piece. And so in 10 years, is Pelham a destination area? Do we have people getting off the interstate to come stay in Pelham, shop, eat, maybe go to the state park, maybe spend the night? And so that is where I think we transition, and we have slow, controlled growth, very strategic, and make sure that, Pelham is still a bedroom community, but we still have some workings of business and,
Right.
and thriving in the city as well, to support the quality of life that we've all become accustomed to.
Right, right, and with doing that, with the growth, you got to have financial responsibility, right?
Yes.
So how do you, I guess, continue to grow but still staying financially responsible and
Sure.
keeping financially sound?
Absolutely. So our city council is responsible for the finance piece.
Right.
They are over the finance strings of the municipality. So we will take the budget that they create with the city manager, and then make sure that we stay within our means. Currently, Pelham holds a AAA bond rating, and we're one of 4 cities that hold that distinction.
Explain that AAA bond rate.
So everybody's familiar with, I guess, individual credit, and you
Right.
get your credit report and your score. Well, cities have a score as well. And so that when you have that AAA rating, it allows you to borrow money at a better interest rate.
Okay.
So we have that allow us to save money when we're doing projects. And when we go out to the market, we're not just going out to, we're typically looking at projects. Like currently, we looked at water infrastructure on this last. We've looked at just enhancing different things in Pelham, making our current civic complex, where we had older equipment getting ready to go out. So we were very strategic on this last bond placement with that. And so going forward, maintaining that rating is crucial. So that comes with budgeting, having setting aside a certain amount of reserves, maybe 4 to 5 months of dedicated, but nothing for expenses. Can the municipality run for 4 to 5 months if not a single penny comes in?
Right.
And so we want to be responsible, and we have a great economy right now, but we want to be prepared in case the economy takes a turn. That's correct.
Understood. So with economic development, and I know everybody got their thing of places that they like to go. So
Sure.
like, what industries or specific businesses would you think you would try to, I guess, bring to Pelham?
So Pelham has a strong background now in the building trades. Obviously, we have a few dealerships,
Right.
whether in the city. But I think we want to diversify those businesses. So when we go to these international trade shows to meet businesses, we're looking for strategic. Is there a regional player that is not in Pelham currently, like a Kohl's or something that would thrive here and pull
Right.
from the surrounding cities? In addition to that, what restaurant groups can we bring to Pelham to have fine dining or fast casual service within Pelham? And
Gotta have food.
Gotta have food. Gotta have something to eat, right?
Right.
And so I think as we look for those opportunities, is where we will find success. I meet people all the time. So, hey, I want retail. Well, you and I know we're in the days of Amazon.
Absolutely.
And so, they deliver packages before 5 a.m.
Right.
Some days. And, rather than invest heavily in retail, we already collect a small tax called SSGT. Basically, is a fancy way of saying online tax. So when people order online, the city does get some money, but not as much as if the retailer was there. But we just know people shop online right now.
Right. All the time.
All the time. So there's no need to go heavily as you look at other cities that have vacant businesses. And so where we can shore up our vacant businesses is finding small businesses to be investing
That was my
in
next
Pelham.
question. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So our small businesses, we know those owners, typically the dollars stay 6 times in the city. Those are the people that donate to the ball fields. They donate, when your kids are raising money, or they go to another small business owner and buy something. And so
Right.
those dollars stay in the community longer than a larger company where the money goes back to Wall Street.
Right.
And so we want to make sure we support the great businesses that we do have in Pelham currently, and then look for what other small businesses or in the metro area that we can get to come to Pelham.
And how do you do that? Like for us, I guess amplifying the small business and the entrepreneurs
Sure.
and supporting them.
A lot of people don't realize I've been a small business advocate for the last few years. My term recently ended on the Shelby County Chamber, where I was a board member, but hailed from the small business division. So I would go to ribbon cuttings. I would go to round tables with other small business owners to talk about ideas, talk about pain points, and how can we thrive as a small business community.
Right.
It's a role, though I did that as a counselor and as a small business owner, I think our mayor is primed to do. To go out, champion the businesses, see what businesses need, what services, make sure that they're getting everything they need from City Hall that's available to them.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I would work to help develop a redevelopment authority. We've seen some of our neighbor municipalities have an authority that gives grants to small businesses so they can redevelop their grounds and make the area more aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
And so we would look for opportunities like that to help those businesses grow.
That's huge.
Yes.
That's huge because small business is needed. Like you say, everybody bring the big businesses because, they know them, but
That's right.
small business is needed too.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's a good plan. So switching gears a little bit, we know you coach basketball with YMCA. You've been involved with the youth. How important is the youth involvement in your vision?
Sure. I love the youth. I've spent 3 years coaching, and I simply enjoy it. Being around, they keep you young, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Young and tired.
Young and tired. That's it. That's
Absolutely.
it. So I believe keeping the youth involved in the city, is great. The youth are going to be our next generation, and so we have opportunities within the city. In the summer, we can look at our high school students and see if there are opportunities for them to shadow and work within government. Maybe they work in our accounting department, IT department. Maybe they work in our golf course. You and I went to college. A lot of times we find, our friends, maybe ourselves, we went there, changed majors.
Yep. A bunch of times.
Yes. And so we want that next generation to be better, right? So if they can find something of what they may like to do prior to college is a good thing. And some people may not go to college, right?
Right, absolutely.
So we have an Explorers program with the fire department, the police department. They can try those programs out. I would also promote a teen council to get get young individuals, young minds interested in municipal government. Maybe they want to work behind the scenes. Maybe they want to work as an elected official. And so expose them to new opportunities in government. And then last but certainly not least, having our youth, those kindergartens, first grade, second grade, go to our senior center and maybe hear from them and let the seniors gain some usefulness from the others in the room. I can remember in the second grade doing something like that, going to the senior center, and used to enjoy that. Enjoy that moment. And so I think some of the things that we did in the past that worked for us, why can't we do it here in the
If it don't broke, ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. That's right.
So, how do you think the city can do a better job, I guess, of working and engaging with diverse communities?
Sure.
Because we talking about youth, so we got so many diverse groups.
That's it.
So how can they do a better job?
Yeah, Pelham is a very diverse community. We have a strong Hispanic community. We've got Asian community, and we've got Caucasian, Blacks, all here in Pelham. And so one of the things that we want to do is give people opportunities to know each other, right? Our kids know each other. Our kids are playing with each other at school
all day.
All right, so it's the adults. We went to work. So can we have events at the park and promote our music in the park, our movies in the park? recently had the paws in the park where everybody
Right.
brought their dogs out, right?
Right.
And just to
And it be
see,
packed when they bring
it's
them.
packed. You know, you got your food trucks, everything out there, but you see individuals just engaging and getting to know each
Right.
other. It makes me think of a time. I've been serving as the Pelham Pastors Liaison, and we put together a fall festival. And we have some of the large churches, some of the smaller churches, black, white. We put the churches together that and had them work events at the fall festival. And this was strategic to allow families to get to know each other.
Right.
People may get to know somebody that's from a different church than theirs.
Right.
And then again, you build community
Right.
by interjecting things like that. And so I think Pelham is special. Pelham is a place where we all can grow. And so just creating those opportunities for people to
Right.
get to know each
And I
other.
love Pelham in the Park. I mean, it'd be packed. It'd be a lot
Yes.
of the bands that come, so everybody enjoy it, have a good time,
That's
especially
correct.
with those food trucks.
Absolutely.
Everybody love to eat.
Absolutely.
So, as someone that's passionate about education, so the traditional funding, everybody knows that the schools get the traditional funding.
Sure.
What other kind of funding do you think you would try to, I guess, gain or
Sure.
get access to?
I think it's important to know, I come from a lifelong generation of educators. My grandmother was an educator, and she would tell everybody, hey, she taught Charles Barkley and had some stories for you. So, Chuck, if you're watching, listen, give me a call.
Right. Absolutely.
But my mother taught on the collegiate level, then my wife has taught in the K-12 setting and been an assistant principal and now teaches on the collegiate level. And so I know how important education is, and I know the resources that they have and that they don't have, and that a lot of times teachers have to supply sometimes things they need for their classroom. And so in Pelham, we strategically set up a 1% sales tax a few years back. Once we start the school system, that goes to the school system to help for additional teacher units, additional supplies that's needed in the classroom. And this council here in 2021, right after we took office, we came in and created an ordinance between the city council and the school board where that 1% sales tax cannot be undone for any political means. So it would take a full vote of the council, full vote of the school board to break this contract.
You ain't getting that.
You're not getting that. That's it. That's it. So the 1 cent sales tax is protected for our students there.
Okay. So out of all these hats you done worn, entrepreneur, deacon, your civic duties, being a husband and a good father, like how has that shaped you as a leader?
Well, I think you glean insight from each aspect. As a deacon, you learn how the operations of the church and how the Bible calls to handle problems from that perspective. Business owner, you have to make sure that at the end of the day, you have a profit, and if there's any shortcomings, you got to make sure that your employees and your vendors and things of those nature are taken care of. And so you work through things of that nature. In addition to that, I think working for Fortune 500 companies, I've worked in sales, worked in management, and so I understand both sides. I think it's important not only to understand the management side, but to understand the employee side, and to make sure the organization is successful. And those are some of the things that I bring to the table. I've not only led, but I've been a part of a team and followed someone else. And so, I come in knowing, hey, I may not be the smartest person in the room, but we'll build a team around us. We've got a great department heads. We got great staff at the city of Pelham. Currently. And so I need to take a step back and, learn from the people that have been doing it day in and day out of how they make their individual departments run. And so
that's so big. That's big in leadership because everybody want to lead, but nobody want to follow. And sometimes that's like you said, sometimes it's taking a step back.
That's correct.
And letting the people that actually do the job teach you what they do. So that's big that you got the mindset to even do that. Right. And with everything that you do, from being a father, from being a husband, from the deacon to the city council, like what keeps you grounded, like on your day to day?
First I'll start off with saying having a strong prayer life. Taking some of the problems of the day and praying about it and just giving it to God.
Right.
And from that, I have a strong support system in my wife. She not only prays with me, sometimes prays for me, can bounce ideas off of her.
Right.
And then she realizes that, hey, I know some of the times that Maurice, that I sacrificed being away from Maurice,
Right.
he's out helping the community.
Right.
And so she's okay with that. The kids are okay with that. And so it makes you feel good knowing that they support you and they support your ideals for the city.
Right. You got 3 girls, right?
3 girls. Yes.
3 girls. So what would if you could sum up, if the 3 girls could sum you up in 3 words,
Okay.
right? What would they say about Maurice?
I would say love, tough, and then daddy, right? I mean, everybody, you're always daddy. And you love them unconditionally, right?
Girls are different.
They're different. They're different. And then even in times when you have to discipline them, maybe 24 hours you're back friends, and then the baby, I mean, it's 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, she don't care.
She don't care. And she forgot, but they learn. And as I explained to the older one, when I'm tough on you, when you get that tough love, it's because I love you, right?
I love you.
You don't realize it now,
right?
It's going to be 20, 30 years. And be like, you know what?
Kind of like us. We didn't realize
we
it back
did not
then,
realize it.
Now we get it.
And so I think that's what they would take home. But then they know that they're loved. They know that I'm dad, and dad doesn't play.
Right.
So
from you living in Pelham for so long, right, and being on the city council, what's one hidden gem that most folks don't know about? Like, what's one spot, your go-to spot that people don't know about?
So there's a in Pelham and in Birmingham, you'll notice that cities sometimes don't have a strategic zip code or strategic place.
Right.
Pelham's typically 35124, but there are some places that have a Chelsea zip code or a Hoover zip code that are part of Pelham.
Right.
And so here close, not far from where we're at now, there's a place called Uka Japanese. It is a hidden gem. They've been here. They had a fire, closed down for a year, and then reopened. And so some of the best Japanese food I think that you'll ever.
So that's a spot.
It's a spot. Yes, you definitely got to try it out if you've never been.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll put that one on the
list. Put that one on. And then obviously people have heard of Oak Mountain, but getting inside there, whether it's golf, whether it's basketball, whether it's camping, whether it's picnic at the beach area,
the
birds. That's a hidden gem coming in and to enjoy that. And we're getting ready for our fireworks show in Oak Mountain on July 3rd. And so if you've never been into that event, that's another one of those community events.
I never been there.
There will be thousands of people on July 3rd inside their food trucks. Please come out. Please be my guest. I'm going to have a tent set up on my own at that particular time.
I'll be there. I didn't know that beach was there either.
Yes.
That was in Oak Mountain.
Yeah, and that's good. My father-in-law took the kids during spring break to the beach, and if you see the other families were there, and they enjoyed themselves. Yeah. So it's good.
So taking you back from when we met, your Troy days, how has your Troy days shaped you as a leader now, and your leadership role?
And we go back and Troy State days, right?
It was Troy State back then.
Troy State. But I think what I learned there at that point in time, I still think the campus was very small. Everybody knew each other, right? And I don't care what year you came in, between that, late 90s and early 2000s, everyone knew each other. And so we were small, right? And in our organizations, you a man of Phi Beta Sigma, myself, Kappa Alpha Psi.
Absolutely.
If the organizations didn't support each other in their events, the event may not be as successful. So you learn building relationships, building bridges at college on that level, right? And so that is some of the things that I take back from that time. And then you start to learn to trust people, right? You've got to learn that you can't do it all. I believe you were the president of your fraternity as well as I, and this at some point you have to delegate.
Yeah,
you cannot do it all, and
you can't do everything. You can't do the parties, and you can't do the public works. You can't work for the school. So I get it.
That's it. And so I think back then, those were some of the nuggets that I took away, from there and learning to. Not only work in government, but just work with people in general. So, and then respect everybody's opinion, right? Everybody, I always tell people 6 + 3 is 9, but also 7 and 2. right? There's different perspectives
Right.
of how you accomplish a goal and how you get to
Right.
a task at hand.
Right. We had some good times with Troy.
We did, absolutely,
Anyway,
absolutely.
And I think you ran for. Didn't you run for SGA?
That's correct.
Okay.
So ran for SGA president in Troy. And fun fact, my wife, and long before we even dated, we didn't date till several years after college, but she was working with a mutual friend and helping me to put up signs and posters that I was running. And so
y'all owe that friend.
Yes. So Miss Tiffany, if you're watching,
they owe you too.
Hey, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the introduction.
Good deal. So what would you want voters to remember about you?
Okay. What should voters remember?
Yeah.
I think it's important and that voters should remember not only have I been working hard for you since 2012 as an elected councilman, I've been transparent. I've been easy to get to gain access to. I've published my telephone number, answered questions, even tough questions. People come and they know, hey, Maurice is going to give us a straight answer no matter what. And so I think if I'm elected mayor, not only the accountability that I've had as a counselor, they will be able to reach me and have more access to me as a mayor when they have questions and they have concerns, as citizens or as business owners. And
Right.
so that's a promise that I have to them, to be committed, to be dedicated, to leave the organization better than I found it. So we want to make sure that Pelham not only does well, but we do things great. And so that's my commitment to them.
Good deal. And
Yes,
so
sir.
before I let you go, what we do on the show, you got to tell what's your motivation, right?
Okay.
What gets you going in the morning? What gets you, whether it's morning or night, however you work,
Sure.
what pushes you every day? What's your motivation?
I think my motivation lies back from my mother, father, and grandfather. So my father was a police officer, my mother a nurse, and my grandfather worked in civil rights. And so they all, the common denominator was helping people. And so I've always found a joy inside to be able to help people. And so getting up each day to accomplish something, to leave the world a better place than I found it for your kids, for my kids.
Right.
And that's what motivates me. That's what keeps me going. I do it because I love it.
Right.
So,
okay. But tell the people where they can find you at.
Sure. You can visit the website, mauricemercer.com, to find more information. I'm on Instagram, and you can find me at Mercer Maurice 1 on Instagram, as well as Facebook, Maurice Mercer. So please look me up, get involved on the website. You can request yard signs, you can make a donation, you can volunteer. We've got a lot of ways. This campaign is going to be very important. All right. Our 2008 election was lost by 8 votes. And so we want to make sure that everybody knows to come out on August 26th, 7 to 7 at the Pelham Civic Complex in Ice Arena to cast their votes. The last time the mayoral election happened from an incumbent mayor not running, it was decided by 8 votes. Every vote matters. So please get involved. For more information, contact me and we'll get you the information.
On that note, it's a wrap. Classic conversation.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. Hey, this is Maurice Mercer, the mayoral candidate for the city of Pelham, and I approve this show, Classic Conversations.